If you want to know about the culture of a particular place, you must visit its rural areas. But in our busy lives, we hardly get time for that. So if you want to experience the culture, you must visit Sanskruti Udyan in Pune, which will take you to the rural living. So let's go in to see that. Gram means rural and Sanskruti means culture. So the Sanskruti Udyan is a place which perfectly depicts the rural culture and the rural living. They've set up a whole village over here through artworks and statues to give us a purer sense of the rural living and the rural culture. Now let's go inside to see the village atmosphere. Upon entering the village, what we can see are small houses, and in these houses, people are engaged in their day-to-day activities. So here you can see a house where a puja is being performed. There are no shopping malls or big hospitals in a village. People work according to their skills. So here what we can see is a Ved who works with Ayurveda treating a patient. And in another scene there is a tailor who is stitching clothes. So there are different types of people and workers which are being shown in the whole village. Nowadays, we see children busy in mobile phones, but in rural areas, this is what children do. They play outdoors. While the children like to play outdoors, the elderly people like to sit in a place like this. This is called as a par in the rural language, and the elderly people sit over here either talking or discussing things. While the children like to play, they also like to get educated. The schools which we know are classrooms with all the world class amenities. But in olden days, schools in the villages were something like this, where the children would literally sit under the tree and the teacher would teach them. Over here, what we can see is the Gram Sabha. The Gram Sabha is basically the court of the village. Over here, the head of the village solves disputes between two villagers or maybe two families or takes decisions for the benefit of the village. In every village, there is a temple which is dedicated to a particular deity which the villagers worship. And Gram Sanskruti Udyan also has a temple in this village setup. People who have never visited a village might get confused what exactly is going on here. So for people like these, there are boards put over here which you can read and understand what exactly is going in the scene. So here we can see children playing, a few women worshipping a holy plant, and there is also a scene of a wedding going on. Animals have become a rare sight in cities today, but here you can see sheep grazing. Upon going a little bit further, what we can see is a farmer working in his farm with his cattle. There's also a scene of daily workers working over here. This house which you can see over here is the Patil Vada, which is the house of the head of the village. In olden days, these houses were built using rocks and wood, and it's got a beautiful veranda to sit. Behind the Patil Vada is a shelter for the cattle. Now let's go and see the rural market area. Every village has a weekly market where sellers from the nearby villages gather in one place to sell their goods. In this weekly market, villagers can purchase everything right from vegetables to groceries to farming equipments and clothes. There are also different forms of entertainment in a village. So over here what we can see is a Ram Leela performance. And in this next scene we can see is a wrestling match. This is the traditional wrestling form called Kusti. One more form of entertainment in the villages is the tamasha, a traditional dance form where artists dance to entertain the people. Whatever we saw up till now was the true rural living, and each one should live a life like this at least once in their lifetime.